Everybody, it is time for Minute to Skim It. We've got some really boss books this week, including Dork 3, a new Absolute Green Lantern. You guys need to help me decipher what just happened there. And then a ton of really good #1 indie books that'll blow your minds. Make sure you share and like and subscribe and ring the bell so your notifications are turned on. And we'll see you right back here. I'll tell you all about it. Been a fun week, y'all. Week and a half or whatever. I feel like it's been week after week after week of like spring break. I don't know if it's the same around you guys, but like we had 3 weeks of spring break in a row, and then it fed right into Easter. In our school district, that means that they had Friday off and Monday off. So yesterday was still busy, and then today I kind of thought to myself, maybe it'll slow down a little bit, but we had tons of people coming in. I actually asked them, I was like, is there another school that's on spring break? They're like, nope, we're just college kids, and we came over after college. So I was super excited to see them, but I wasn't expecting it. And I think also a little bit, it might have been people that their kids were home last week, and so they couldn't come themselves to come and like hang out and get to dig through back issues and get the new books that they missed last week. So it's also fun. So this is my true desire and hope, is that this is something that's going to keep on going. I would love it to be this kind of busy and get to talk about comic books all the time. And I'm sure you guys like that too. And I'm also super excited because this weekend, Tyler Main is going to be in the store from 12 to 4. And it's nothing like having Sabretooth come and hang out. And he called me today. So it's the second time I've talked to him on the phone. He's such a nice guy. You know how people say that famous person is a nice person? He's incredible. He's just like, you can tell when people have that kind of like thing about them, that they're not just like being fakey nice. He was like truly a wonderful person. So I don't know if you're local. Oh, and also he talked about he would like to come on to the experience and talk about some things that are near and dear to his heart. So you will see Sabretooth on the EXP in the coming weeks, days, months, whatever. So anyway, there are so many good books. Yes, Barlord Firestorm is amazeballs for a character that I have never read anything about or known anything about in 30 years of comic books. I'm in. But let's talk about whatever books. I think we're starting out with some of people's favorite thing, Dork. I feel like this book is about me somehow. I feel seen. Dork is awesome. This was like, if you guys remember, like Dork kind of like led out for like the crazy like speculator thing that was happening, market manipulation or otherwise. It didn't matter because this book really is amazing. It's not like people were like, let's try to make this amazing by bumping up its value. This is actually a really great series. It's not like we haven't seen Brett Bean's work before. If you like I Hate Fairyland and other books, they're like, this is like just his perfect layup here. So the background for the book is pretty simple. He's half dwarf and half orc. Dork. That's not his real name, but that's the way it got taken in the very first issue. So that's what he gets called. He has a cool shield that has an eyeball in the middle of it that talks to him. I don't know if everyone else can hear it, but it also is a pretty good warrior, turns out. And then he has a chicken that the body runs around like it's a chicken with its head cut off, right? And then he has like a ghost head that floats around. And that chicken is also very helpful. In issue #2, it actually like went into somebody's body and messed him up so that Dork could win. So this third one features this nice redheaded gentleman who has got it all in his brain that he must absolutely find and kill Dork. He even has found a potion or concoction that is going to help him in this regard, because Dork is part of some long prophecy that is going to mess everything up maybe for this guy. I don't even know why everyone doesn't want it to happen so much, because I can't remember what the actual prophecy is. But I don't know. This character is really good at battling, even though he looks like nothing. And the art is amazing. And I love the way the dynamic shots that they give it for like things flying where and misdirections. And it's a little bit of perfection, honestly. Probably not 100% for kids, unless they think it's funny when chickens get smashed or whatever. So this one continues on being amazing. It wasn't an anomaly. Yeah, the second issue cemented it for you. Yeah, this is this one's here to stay. There were some other ones that were part of that like woo thing that I'm just like, I still am trying to figure out what the big hook is. Even though the books are good, I don't know why they became like a big cha even before they hit the rack. So Dork is good. If you haven't jumped into Dork, there are extra prints of one available. I don't know if 2 has got a second print yet, but good to have. I didn't look through all the books this week. I usually get handed all my, like, they know what I want for doing a review. So sometimes I don't know what the other books are that I didn't get handed. So there might be another print of something for Dork this week. This is Absolute Green Lantern. The kind of like the big, like they left us on a cliffhanger for the last issue where you got to see, was it Tamaray? Can't remember who the other Lantern character was that they showed on the last page of the last issue. And it was a little bit about, like, the whole discussion was about Jo. You know, the ring wasn't meant for her. It was meant, I guess, maybe for her ex-wife. And so there's that big fight about that. And then, like, kind of the reveal of her saying that the ring isn't a thing. She is the ring. So she doesn't have it. And then all of a sudden you can see it appear and she, like, becomes the suit. Or the character. So it's awesome. And then they have this reveal in the end. This book has nothing to do with any of those things. It's a total excursus off into another dimension, another place in space where it has other lantern related beings, but not lanterns themselves. It does have Sinestro as part of the shocking back and forth in this one. But in everything else is like really does go off of where we're used to being for Green Lantern. And since I don't have a huge back history for it, maybe this stuff is something that a true Lantern reader would recognize and be like, oh, I know who these characters are and I know where they're going with it. But for me, this issue is kind of like I hope the next issue explains a little bit more. I did get a little bit lost in the details. So not that it's bad, just that I don't know what's going on. Maybe that's not a bad thing. Cover is completely wild. I really thought, like, because the cover has her wife upside down, I thought that it was going to be about her, but she's not even in this book, but I can tell. The cover is a lie, as we like to say. It's a good hook, though. It's a good cover. All right. This is, I guess, but this is Titan, and so I know then it's probably based on a video game. Definitely a video game that I've not played. I cannot handle horror video games, especially because it got spook music and jump scares, and that's not me. I can't handle that kind of stuff. The last kind of like horror-esque video game I have ever played was back in 1997 or 8 when they had there was an aliens, a colonial marine aliens that they put out that had a little bit of like aliens jumping out of the stuff, and that was another one of those. It was back in PlayStation 1 time when there was not really any save spots or not any helpful ones. So hard. So okay, so this is Dead by Daylight. So if you know anything about the video game, maybe this isn't a surprise for you, but this one is a really interesting kind of like storytelling thing. I must play the game. No, I cannot. jump scare sketch. Not what we call her. I'll let you guys play it and you can tell me. This one, it's about I think he's a police officer. He's a guy. I think he's a police officer, a detective or something. He's a policeman. So he is chasing a bad guy. The bad guy jumps over fences and ends up in a backyard where there's a dog. The dog attacks the guy. The police officer is forced to shoot the dog because otherwise it's either going to kill the bad guy or whatever, come after him next. So he feels bad about it. But the way that this book progresses is if he gets invited out by other police officers, I think. And in that invitation, he finds out that they want him to like join their little group. What this group is, and they take him to a farm and task him with a task. They're like, if you can do this task, then you can join our group, which I don't even know if he knows if he wants to. It feels really like not right because when he shows up at the bar where they're all hanging out, everyone's like, what's this guy doing here? He's not one of us. Anyway, so this cover art is really great and scary, and the inside art is also great. And the storyline is really awesome. I don't really usually if there's a video game related something, I'll read it. But then since I don't know anything about it, I don't like the story or it just isn't my jam. But this one I actually like. I might actually read the rest of this series because it's the kind of like the hook for it is really good. So this one, maybe put it on your radar for you weren't really sure if you wanted to try this one. This was actually great storytelling in there. So try this one. All right, we were actually talking before I went to go and do my reading today. Shanice and I were talking about which books that she thought might be exciting enough to be kind of like a surprise. People might be into it more than we think they're going to be. This is a great Oni Press title, and it is called Estuary. It's a ghost story. So this is a very, very interesting lead-in for a storyline. There are 2 books this week, which actually kind of start out with the gist of it is that someone has driven their car off of a cliff, whether on purpose or not. In both instances, that's part of the mystery. And in this one, it starts out with a car going off of a cliff, but then there's something kind of mystical weird about it because whoever's driving the car looks like they've got red eyes. But anyway, it kind of jumps forward after that into this kind of woman who you get to learn a lot about her personal life, a little bit about who may have hired her to go and do this, to try to figure out something about, which I'm guessing is the car accident. Because they keep on calling it the wreck, but the rest of the story is her kind of going out on a charter boat and, low-key flirting with the guy who's the charter. And it's clear that she's gone out many multiples of time to look for this wreck. And the cool thing about the story is they don't really ever tell you, is it the wreck for the car that came off the cliff? Is it a boat they're looking for? What? So it gets real trippy. It's really neat. The art style, it's all like this front cover where it's real kind of gauzy. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've read that's kind of like this story style. It's definitely one of those stories that's going to not give everything to us right away and kind of draw us in with its storytelling. So yes, it's a ghost story, but also mystery. A little bit they do a good job of character development, which makes you actually care about what's going on here instead of just being random person. So it's definitely on my list of books to watch this week. Hey, Corey. Ooh, The Atoll. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that book. They never finished The Atoll? What in the world? That's not fair. There are some other, I can't ever remember the name of this TV show, but there was a TV show long ago about the whole thing was about a mystery about this girl and like drowned in a car. And so every, like they go back and forth between like her remembering parts about that and her like being part of this group that does, I don't know, research or trying to figure out mysteries, whatever. I don't remember what the name of the show was. Maybe it was called VR or something nuts. But they never finished the show. It like quit out. So I'll never know what the answer is. 2 issues, 1 came out. Did Mario and Nastasia cover this? This is actually, no, this is cool. I don't know who did all of this stuff, but I think all of this stuff was done by new unknown creators, because what's cool about it is it says that these people were chosen from, they were winners of the Mad Caves Studios talent search. So there are at least 3 books in here, 3 different stories. The first one is about Snake Oiler, which is, I guess, one of the racers. His story is kind of like after a big crash, he ends up in another town where one of the other drivers, the Scorpion guy, I don't remember his name, is, and that interaction is a little bit about like, Snake Oiler has a new car. This other guy's challenging into a race. Is like, no, I'm not about it. But that's a cool story. And then there's like 2 other stories here, and all of them are the artists, the writers, the flatters. Do you guys know what a flatter is? This is cool. I'm gonna teach you guys something. This is neat. So when you're gonna do coloring, instead of having one person do the color, in which they go in and they do all of it, they have a person that is called a flatter. And what they do is they outline a section that is going to be a single color. So it's easier for the artist that's the actual colorist to come in and just choose that section. So important as a job, but a lot of people don't know what a flatter is. So if you ever see flatter as a job, sometimes they don't even tell you who the flatters are. Usually you just get the colorist only. But flatters have a very important job. You can actually get jobs as flattering. So that's the deal. So anyway, these are all Speed Racer stories, not like the main Speed Racer characters, except for I think the last one has got maybe it's Chim Chim, the second one, the third story. Let me see. Hold on. Just making sure. Yeah, it is. So it's Chim Chim and Spriddle. Chim Chim and Spriddle is the third story. So there you go. This is fun Speed Racer stuff, but it's not the normal team. If you want to support people that maybe later on might be famousy people, if they get a lot of feedback about them doing a good job, then there you go. All right, Pretty Hate Machine. This one is the 100% trippy. I don't even know how to explain this thing. Okay. The way this looks, let me make sure I'm getting this right thing. I think this is the one with the boys. I think this one that has the boys in it at the beginning. Okay. This is the other one. Yeah, this is the other one that deals with someone going off of a car going off a bridge, right? So it's 3 boys that are riding their bikes. They're Mormon boys, so they're in their black suits and a black tie, and they're talking about 2 of them are twin. There's a set of twins and one other guy giving each other a hard time. And they go to the bridge where this guy went off of the bridge, right? And they see this weird light on the other side of the bridge. So they go and see what it is. The trippy thing is that they actually see themselves, and this is going to be a tiny bit spoilery, but it is totally the way to get you hooked into the book. They see themselves completely gutted and hanging from a tree. That is a little bit freaky. And what happens after that is even more freaky, as they then leave and go to the wake for the guy who drove off of the bridge, because they've been tasked by something that's in the tree to go and get the extra person, which is the son of the guy who drove off the bridge. So, whoa, it's a bunch of gutty things. And then this weird guy here with the stabby hands, I don't know what he is. This is one of those cool, gross, spooky mysteries. It's got me hooked already. I am 100% hooked for this book, even though, things with stabby hands are not my favorite thing. I want to know if the thing with stabby hands is a real thing. Is he one of the boys playing around, or psychological, or I don't know. And that's the good thing about this book. I like horror now. If you keep on writing good horror, I will like it. There's other horror that I do like. It's like this one is not horror, but it is a perfect setup. So Everyone Loves a Jewel Thief is for people that are fans of things like Four Kids Walk Into a Bank. This is the most crazy premise for a book I have read in a long time. So as you read it, there is a fellow who is clearly wanting to be a successful writer. He's had his book turned down multiple times. And so that's one of the storylines, that he's kind of like sad about that and like frustrated by it, and not getting a lot of help from people close to him, honestly, about the feedback about that thing. But he makes a decision. This is such a crazy, crazy thing. Without really spoiling it, there is a plan that he hatches with other people that is either an actual heist or not a real heist, but a way to get interest in a book that he might write about a heist. It's not going to go well because they're really going to do the heist. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Corey. No, number one. We could rob in France. Yeah. This is a cool, weird, I've never heard anyone come up with this kind of idea. Thanks, Ignition Press. Ignition Press has been putting out some really good stuff. So be paying attention to them. Their stuff is not like everybody else's things. They're really trying to put out special books that are different from each other. So think about those. Gems didn't get found. You were talking about the big the heist from the Louvre for Napoleon era jewelry. Yeah, that was kind of crazy that they got away with that. But I thought they found them, but not the jewels. All right, Thundercats X Silverhawks. If you have been reading either one of these things, great. Get this too, because there's 3 different books that are part of this series. They're going to go kind of like in order. So let's see here. This one is Thundercats X Silverhawks, and then I'm going to make sure which one comes next. Mumra, the Ever Living, and then the Thunderhawks storyline. So this one's a good setup. This is literally, you see Panthro kind of like hanging out above Earth. He gets mixed up in this accidental challenge with one of the Silverhawks. It ends up doing something very bad on accident, and so it starts kind of like a big war kind of conflict stuff. So great setup. It is Declan Shelby. You can know and trust him to write a good storyline going through. You don't really have to know anything about either of these, but I will tell you there's this really, really, really cool panel where it's like, Lino shows up, which he's gonna, because he's right there. So he, it has a panel of him pulling out the sword, and each panel is like thunder, 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 Thundercats. And then there's like a whole page where it's, and it's got the whole sword. Oh, it's such a good page. Anyway, you mashed up things else. Thunderhawks are on the loose. Thunderhawks are loose. Wings of Silver Nerves are still. Here come the Thunderhawks. I don't know about that one. And as you know, Dynamite likes to make really pretty covers. So I'm sure that there's a ton of really pretty ones for this. I know that the Thundercats, when it released, had like 117 covers. I don't think there's 117 for this one, but there could be. And I always like to tell people this, like for people that say, oh, too many covers. I'm like, just buy the ones you want. Make sure you tell your LCS which ones you want, because you get to see them all at before FOC. Dynamite's really, really good about having all their art in, so there's not like any guessing. So you can totally see it. Yeah, I like that logo. That is a good mashup logo. Whoever came up with that, they got to be super proud of it. All right. On the heels of things that happened in the what's the storyline? Oh no, my brain's gonna escape it. The big storyline that's going on in the between Venom, Carnage. Oh, it's the Torment guy. Why is my brain not gonna give it to me?
Is it Death Spiral?
Yes, thank you. Death Spiral. I was like coming up with everything except for the right words. So Death Spiral. On the heels of that, you don't need to know anything except for this character becomes very confusing for the other characters. He shows up and no one really knows who's in the costume. So this gives you the whole background for who is in the costume, how they ended up in the costume, what their focus is. This one is probably not one to miss. I'm not going to give you any spoilers for it. It has some really amazing covers also, but it's not probably a character you've thought of in a long time, a character that has died before and come back. Like, this is good stuff. I was real excited because I like the cover style, but there is a version of this character inside that isn't Spider-Man colored. It's what the thing looks like when it first, like when this, it's a symbiote, right? When the symbiote first joins with this character, it's a different color way altogether, and it's really, really cool. I saw the spoilers and it wasn't lame. Good. Yeah. If I just had someone pitch it to me with the who's in the suit, I might be like, but it's written real well, so I'm down for it. All right, so here's the deal. There are 2 Gail Simone books this week, both really great, featuring characters that you may not have, like some of them are her new batch of people, and some of them are people that have not been around for a long time. Okay, do you guys remember, I can't remember where they introduced her. Mother, who's like early mutant. Mother, gosh, what is her name? I'm gonna look it up so I don't mess it up for you guys, because it is a character you guys will recognize. Here she is. Miss Henry Benjamin, Lady Henrietta. She was introduced, I can't remember where. Maybe it was also introduced in one of Gail's other books, going back into time, into the Wild West. So this one's a really cool story. So it is about all of the main characters in this book are mutants, but back in the Old West. And that includes Wolverine. Clearly, he's there in the cover. I'm not spoiling anything for you. But the book opens with a gunslinger who finds himself kind of like being held up by bad guys. It's like, think highwaymen. And he is trying to get his son's casket, which he has got in his cart. He's trying to take him so he can put him to rest. But these guys want to steal. Yeah, you'll see them, Barlord. But he definitely has bone claws. They just couldn't do that on the cover. So they want to steal like the casket's got a gold cross on it, so they want to steal that, and he's like not having it. So the book is mostly about his confrontation with those guys, and then as he is going away, he actually meets a family who also are mutants, but you might recognize some of these guys. And then Lady Henrietta shows up. So it is all about them kind of like making this regulators group, which is awesome. Awesome. I love Western anything. They could just give me Western Wolverine all the time. I'd be about it. And this group in particular, I really like them because there's like magic users and like manipulators and just Wolverine being Wolverine, honestly. So these guys, I hope that this isn't like a group of characters that are just introduced here in the annual and we don't see anymore. I hope that we get to see them a lot more. Of course, they can't be in the main storyline we're reading right now because this happened way back when. So anyway, I like them. Thanks, Gail, for making really cool characters. All right. This is the first of the silent missions for G.I. Joe that I'm going to have you guys read. Actually, because there's no reading. Look at it and tell me what 100% is going on. So what I think I saw were 2 Crimson Guards escaping from within the Cobra organization. But it looks like to me that they kill Cobra Commander. I don't know. Since there's no words to tell me for sure. So most of the book is them, their escape. That's like really beautiful. Good screenshots, great looking, and you can kind of tell who one of them is because they got damaged. So they've got like their visor. You can kind of see one of their eyes really well. So maybe you guys can figure out who's supposed to be in that mask. Maybe they are not Crimson Guard at all. Maybe they're somebody else. Maybe they're actually the heroes that snuck in. But there's just as a reminder for all of you guys that are doing G.I. Joe in general, there are quite a few silent missions that are coming. I know I reviewed one last week before last, and I know there's some really good ones coming up. Like I think we still have Firefly to come. So I in general like the silent mission stuff because they harken back to the G.I. Joe number 21, which is a pretty darn expensive book now. So now this is your way to experience cool, no word books, but not having to break the bank. All right, here we go. Here's the other Gail Simone. I'm going to get all those guys' names right. So just to catch you up, we're in number 26 now. So there are 4 mutants, young mutants, that have been being mentored by Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Remy, and Rogue. That's their team that are taking care of them. Jubilee is in the mix too. Jitter, Ransom, Deathstream, and Calico are this group of kids. They're called the Outliers. So they're sure unknown. I can go look and see what they are. So they are a very interesting group. Like Calico rides a horse, and it's unclear whether Calico is the mutant or the horse is the mutant, or if they have to be together to be mutanty. Deathstream is dead, so threatening him to kill him is kind of like a okay, how about I do it for myself? Because he, kills himself over and over again. He can. Jitter has got like really cool powers. She has a stutter. But then she can like do a lot of cool manipulations. And then Ransom, I can't remember Ransom's powers, but there is another kid that was with them at the very beginning of this series. If you guys don't remember, who died. You get to meet him in the hospital. The problem is that he says on his deathbed that like he's seen into the future and that one of these other kids, he just says one of the kids is going to destroy everything. So we're supposed to forget that. We're supposed to like not remember that and just like be liking these guys, but I'm always keeping my eyes on them. What is going on? So this is an interesting storyline. So this is really about the kids are asleep because this is called Who's Been Sleeping in My Bed. So the kids are asleep. It shows them sleeping. Their handlers have been saying, like, I don't think they're sleeping well. But you can see their dreams in this book. And their dreams all are not great. There's bad stuff going on. But there's a point at this book in which what is the dream world? Who's dreaming? What are we watching? And what is real becomes very skewed. We don't know 100% for certain what is going on. And that's cool because it leaves us in a big cliffhanger in this book. So definitely worth a read to find out, what are they dreaming about? There's a lot of hints, I'm sure, in all of what they're dreaming and seeing and doing. And then there's some really fun banter and talk between Remy and Rogue about the kids, particularly in a very good way. So, yeah, great. I'm sure that anyone that's going to read Uncanny X-Men has been reading these. And this one is a good jump-on point, honestly, for people that don't know anything about the characters. Okay. I'm going to explain. This might be one of my favorite things on the planet. My kids tease me all the time because I am a little bit obsessed with Shakespeare. I have got 2 complete works of Shakespeare, leather-bound, and they laugh at me because they're like, why do you need a second one, Mom? And I'm like, in case I can't find the first one. I love things like the Romeo and Juliet movie, the DiCaprio one. So because I think it's really the best Tybalt and Mercutio I've ever seen. Like Claire Danes and such. But those are great actors, but I am so far into like the whole Tybalt and Mercutio thing is just so well acted. Blows my mind. So if you like an iambic pentameter, then this book is totally for you because it does not shy away from the actual Romeo and Juliet. It actually has almost all of Romeo and Juliet exactly the way it is in the play. But in the background and occasionally interacting with the characters is Godzilla and Mothra. They make things a little more complex, clearly, and it doesn't get really crossovery until the very end, where you have one of the, I can't remember which it is, Montagues or Capulets. One of them has made a Mecha Godzilla out of wood, and they are also in the fray in that way. So it is awesome. It's a good sneaky way to get your kids to read Romeo and Juliet. I'm telling you, that was like master class acting in those. I actually have a shirt that's like, you guys have probably seen me wear it. Curse on Both Your Houses. Yeah. That, when he dies, like every time I cry. Because he's so alive in that film. He's like the thing that's like kind of like, he's like the party guy that's on the party bus and gets, Romeo to quit being all sad about the girl he's pining over. By the way, I say Romeo is a player because he has lost a girl and is pining for a girl and then meets a girl at a party and then marries her. Like, come on. He's not a very steady person. And then at the very end, it's got a Godzilla Robin Hood, and that's only like 3 or 4 pages. Yeah, Juliet, she's hot. It's so funny as he goes to the party looking for Rosaline and pretty much gives up on that right away. I don't know. So the Godzilla Robin Hood, Godzilla just happens to be in the forest. He doesn't have really anything to do with the storyline. It's just Robin Hood doing Robin Hood things, and Godzilla happens to be there. But it is drawn by Tom Scioli, who I love his art. If you love iambic pentameter, I love iambic pentameter. Have you guys ever picked up Ian Dosher did a full series of Star Wars, all the different ones in Shakespearean. Like, I've been asking for a long time, someone please put on these plays, but since Disney owns Star Wars, they have permission to do these things. But the costume images that are in those books just like made me crazy. And then really, really early, hi EJ, early on when we used to do not live video like this, but when we used to do podcast stuff, we did a full read of the entire first book, like the regular Star Wars, in which there's a part where a bard sings something or Leia sings something, and I like completely made up the song, and it was the bomb. So somewhere out there in the world, there is us doing weekly podcast, live reads of that book, which I think we should do again. Father, thou art a villain. Yes. So anyway, that's my trying to convert you over to loving Shakespeare-ness. I will convert you. Okay, this is the surprise amazing book of the week. This is one, to everybody's credit, we got Shanice saying that she thinks this is the one. Is Lemire writing Firestorm? And you don't need to know anything about this character, because I certainly did not. I certainly did not know a single thing about it. I'm not even going to try to explain this book to you other than to say Firestorm shows up at the beginning of the book, and the way the storyline gets told in the first 5 pages, it was like day 1, Firestorm shows up in this town, and this is what happens. Day 2, this is what happens. Day 3, this happens. 4, 5, 6. 6 is really bad. Pretty much Firestorm destroys this town, and then on day 7 he rests. So it's like paralleling the creation story, but it's like a definitely destruction story. And so the mystery here is about Firestorm is supposed to be this guy and this old doctor that kind of got melded together and inhabit the same body as Firestorm. Well, something has gone wrong. And in this book, they track down Firestorm's old girlfriend to try to talk to him, because they don't dare go talk to him, because he basically can just imagine you as some other thing and dissolve your body or whatever. He's a very dangerous character. There's nothing you can do about it, because it's not like you can defend against whatever. He's changing you at the molecular level. It's so this character that probably you've never said, oh, that guy would be real good in a fight against anybody. He probably would be really good in a fight with just about anybody. Stein, the main guy, there's been other feuds with him. Yeah, I can't remember. It's Ronnie Raymond. So Ronnie Raymond is supposed to be one half of him, and then the other guy, right? But they're the thing about reading this book is that you got to figure out what's going on. Is either of them in this? None of them? One of them? What's going on? So that's the big mystery that gets unraveled in the book.
Yeah, the other guy is Jason Rush, and then there's one.
Now, this is a doctor, somebody, little guy.
Jefferson Jackson were the other two, but Victor, or not Victor, that's the guy who played him on the show. Martin Stein, I think, is usually the main guy. The others fuse with him.
Well, this is real messed up then. It's a messed up in the very best way. All right. And then also this week, Death of the Silver Surfer comes out as a cool hardcover, which is really awesome. This was a great storyline. And also, it is time for volume 5 for Grimm. The Fist of Khonshu, volume 3. Oh, I put that on the board twice. This is cool. For everybody that bought the books but didn't dare open them up because they're worried about messing them up, please buy this book, because it's such a good storyline. These characters are so cool, but especially Drac. Drac is my favorite character of all time now, because he's just so good. I mean, in the worst possible ways. Bad, bad, bad. He would never be able to cross him. Here is Mark Spears Monsters, Volume 1. which gets you. Oh, it doesn't say which. Which just says volume 1. Great. I like it. It says that they sold 1.5 million copies of the books. Isn't that mind-blowing? Also, you can get the Godzilla versus America, which gets you Godzilla versus Chicago, Boston, Los Angeles, and Kansas City. Coming out soon is going to be Godzilla versus Texas. They couldn't even narrow it down to a city. They were just like, Texas. That one looks like it's going to be really fun. I ordered some of those because I was like, when are we going to not need Godzilla versus Texas? And then this series, which was so good, y'all. Everything Dead and Dying focuses in on these dads who have a little girl that they have adopted, and they're in a rural farming community, and there's a big zombie apocalypse that breaks out. But the cool thing that you find out very early on in this series is that the little girl and this guy's husband become zombies, but he stays in the town and kind of cares for them. So this is true love. He cares for them, and he also cares for the town people, because it's a good community, right? So even though the most horrible thing has happened to them, and are they real people anymore? I don't know. That premise of even when the people that we love become very different, that doesn't change anything about ourselves and how we should behave, right? Oh, you fell into Plastic Universe? It's so good! So for Plastic Universe, you need plastic, vinyl, plush, and related to vinyl is the serial killer.
I was a fashion school serial killer, and then there's plastic Death and Dolls.
Yeah, the Death and Dolls is awesome because that goes and looks at Edwin when he's young, and by way of maybe hypothetically showing us that there was something that happened to him to make him the way he is, but nope, he is just messed up. Kind of like Amanda Waller's, when they gave us her origin story, and you're just like, nah, she was just a messed up person. I like how, I need to talk to Doug. I was like, do you study true crime or what's going on? Are you just obsessed with serial killers? Because he writes really good in that space. And yeah, tearing through it is what I normally see from people. I'll hand them one and I'm like, just read it. If you don't like it, bring it back to me. And they're like, curse you, Miss Jen. So I have this piles this big of the universe because I sell it so much. I got to keep it in stock. All right, that is all the books that I have time for reviewing today or that I could read in the allotted time. Would love to read everything. You guys know that I would. But make sure do this for me this week. Read whatever books you get from your local comic shop, and then please recommend them to somebody. Just like I recommended plastic to you guys, and now you've got a healthy or unhealthy obsession with that universe. You're supporting Doug. Doug's been around for a long time and been writing really great stuff, and I'm glad people are finding his work. So the way people find those creators is through lots of time, word of mouth. So that's all you need to do. Henri is back. He's been away at conventions for many weeks. If you've ever seen Henri do his selling at shows, he is one of the hardest working people I've ever seen. He stands in front of his booth and talks to every single person that walks by. So there is nobody that walked by his booth that didn't hear his pitch for his books are. And that man is amazing. I don't know how he has any energy when he's done. So he took last week off because I think he was 100% exhausted and he wanted to spend time with his kids, which both things are smart things. So please show up and support him at 9 Central. But between now and then, come hang out with me again. I'm going to sell the comic books I talked about today. I'm just going to pop back on right where I am. So wherever you are now, you can do that. But otherwise, please, please, please support your local comic shop. Support your local comic shop. That is my heart for it. I am somebody's local comic shop. And if you don't have one, I'm happy to be yours. But if you have one, please support those guys. Gotta have them all. There aren't that many. It's not like there's millions of local comic shops out there. Got to support the ones you got. All right. Thanks, Jay. I'm going to see you again in a couple minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Take care, everyone.
Bye, y'all.